Hey there gardeners, Chris here today, and I'm going to be taste testing our red Panama passion fruit. This is not the first passion fruit we've had this season. We had some of the more regular black passion fruits off a vine up the back, which was essentially just something that grew pretty much wild, obviously from a previous owner, but still fairly wild. And this is our Panama Red that was planted down next to our frangipani. And we've seen this one on the vine riper than the rest. There's one more that's ripe at the moment, and then we've got quite a few more that are on their way to ripeness, but it's so dry. We're in autumn now, and it's so dry that I do have some worries that the passion fruit vine might suffer a little bit, especially covered in fruit. So I think after I've done this taste test, I'm gonna go down and water it and just give it the best chance of getting the rest of our fruit ready to go. Now, the funny thing about the passion fruit is, and I don't know if this is just me, but when I was younger, you would see them sold in little nets in the supermarket, and they'd be like shriveled up, totally shriveled up. And obviously they'd traveled a long distance, and that was just the way they were sold. Now, it's a little bit more normal, especially if you're looking at one like a Panama Red, like this one here, to see them where they haven't totally like shriveled down to nothing. And I don't think it massively affects the flavor. It's possible that those really shriveled ones are a little bit more tangy, but they were probably a bit easier to transport. So maybe that's why the case, or maybe because they're always tend to be quite expensive, they don't sell, and as a result they shrivel up. But I don't really know. I certainly wouldn't be going out and spending the money that it normally entails to buy a passion fruit, but growing my own, very, very exciting. So let's chop this one in half. I've gotten special permission to open the very first one and check that it's okay and give it a taste test on video. For my half of it, I've got to give the missus the other half. Oh, hard to get the knife through. There we go. So, fairly juicy. Got a bit of juice on the board there, and it's got quite a thick pith in it, which is a little bit unusual because normally most of the passion fruit I've seen in the past don't have such a thick pith. Very, very nice. So as far as first impressions, obviously I'm just kind of licking the juice off before it drips everywhere. Not quite as tart as those black passion fruits we had before. It does have a good amount of flesh in it, which hopefully you can see there. And actually, before I eat it, I'll give you a closer look on the camera. So that's it there. And it is quite juicy because it is dripping out all over me now. But yeah, a good amount of flesh. Obviously, we've grabbed out a spoon for this particular job. Actually does have a bit more bite to it once we get into kind of the seeds, which have a fair bit of flesh around them. Lots of crunch to those seeds. You just chew them up and eat them. It's not a type of seed that you'd get rid of, or this would be impossible to eat. And to be honest, there's a lot of juice in there. So despite some damage to the outside of the fruit, perfectly okay to eat, no dramas at all. Nice, little bit of tartness to it. Really quite a unique flavour. If you haven't had a passion fruit before, it's probably a bit hard to explain. I think if you've had like a passion fruit and orange juice, like one of those highly processed juices, you can see where the hint of that flavour comes from, but the actual fruit itself is so much nicer. And these are, obviously they're not going to be such a filling fruit the way something like a mango would be, or like your typical apple or orange or anything like that, but they're great in lots of other things. You can add them to yogurt, like if you're making your own homemade yogurt, it'd be perfect for that. Good in cakes, on cakes. It's just a really unique flavour, and obviously we should have 20 or so of these coming in the next kind of week or two as they ripen up, and when that happens we'll be exploring what we can put them in, because you can do like a I'm a big fan of mojitos. You can do a passion fruit mojito as well. We might give that a try. And yeah, it's just a really cool kind of thing to grow yourself. And obviously not having to spend the money on them, because I feel like they're a bit of a rip-off for what you're getting. You're getting a couple of mouthfuls of seeds, really nice flavor, but from a substance perspective, you're not getting a lot for your money. And as a result, yeah, much, much better to grow. And to be honest, these were one of the most fuss-free things to grow in our whole garden. I think it did get a little bit of fertilizer early on. When I did the frangipanis, it wasn't even so much for the passion fruit. I just sprinkled it around that whole area. And yeah, we had an easily grown passion fruit vine, nice and tough, survived through all the dry weather, which in summer is a particular problem here in Australia, and good results. So if we get a heap more of these out of this vine, I'm going to be super happy, but getting just one was pretty special as well. And yeah, I might do an update and let you know how many we get in total, if I think it's noteworthy enough, which, whether you agree with it being noteworthy at all, is probably up for a bit of debate. Now to put the wife's half somewhere safe so that she can enjoy it when she finishes work.